Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And wow, Three of Cups, beautiful energy. Beautiful energy, very expressive, right? Very, very generous with the gratitude, very generous with the love and the kindness. This is really a great way to start. Let's put it into some context. I feel like there are some lessons that we're learning here. Okay, we got some threes. Ooh, we got some Fool energy. And then a lot of fire and some transfer. I think things are really changing right now. I think we're about ready to embark on this is kind of the next phase of things. But let's look at the mystery card. Well, let's select the mystery card. And this is one card randomly from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we're not going to look at this card until the very end, right? We'll put the alien right there on top. And hopefully that card can tie everything together and, of course, give us the confirmation that we need. All right. Let's take a look at what we have now. We've got major. We have quite a few major arcana. We have fire. We have fire. A little bit of water, a little bit of air. And now as far as the earth energy goes, well, the Hierophant and the Capricorn Devil energy, these are some really strong earth energies. Okay, so we do have the earth. But this isn't something that we are tasked with manifesting. These are changes, I think, that are happening. These are changes that are kind of unavoidable right now, like this death card at the end. Nothing to be afraid of, right? This is just the normal process of life. Maybe we're transitioning from school to career, maybe from career to retirement, maybe we're transforming ourselves spiritually. We're reaching some kind of a milestone, some kind of a turning point, right? But let's take a look at some of the rest of this energy. First, the Three of Cups. Beautiful. We have a lot of threes. Look at this. We have 3, 3, and 3 here. The threes are kind of like the laws of your being, right? What are the 3 laws that you live under, right? Well, we want our creativity, our will to be law. We want our love to be law. But the 3 of Swords, we don't really want that to rule us, right? So we'll get to that. We don't want that to rule us. The Three of Cups, though, is a wonderful way to live your life. I think you are a very generous person. I think that you have a lot of love to give. I think you really enjoy being kind to others. Maybe you volunteer. Maybe you're a healer of some kind, right? I feel there's a lot of emotional strength in you. And you love to share that with others for a healing thing, right? And maybe that's kind of part of what this Hierophant is doing here, showing your assistance to others, that you feel it's part of your mission to give back, to give to others, to assist others in alleviating their suffering a little bit, as much as we can help someone else, you know? So I think the Hierophant is here maybe to show that there is a big shift coming in the way that you are going to be expressing this Three of Cups, this love energy. Now, we could be talking about a new relationship, a new job, new field of study, new career. We could be talking about a transition from your career to retirement. Well, now in retirement, we've got to think of new ways to express the laws of our being, right? We find new ways to express our our will, our creativity, and our love. But this Three of Swords still kind of looming. There's some kind of an aspect of suffering here. It may be that we are looking to alleviate the suffering, heal from trauma, both ourselves and others around us. The Hierophant is very much connected with other people, right? With groups, with, maybe church, temple, a lodge, a community organization. It could be your kind of work family or your personal family, group of friends, whatever it is. But there's this idea that we're all here to kind of help each other, and especially when we team that up with the Three of Cups. It's beautiful energy. I like that we have this major arcana in this kind of triad here. Because just these three together, if we just go this way, if we just activate these three major arcana, we're really doing a lot. But this, I think, is the inevitable change that's taking place in your life. Right? And I think the future here with this Fool energy, well, it's still rather uncertain, but the future is already a promise of expansion, already the promise of a good time, right, with the Fool here. But with the Fool, there's always two sides of it. There's the Fool, and then there's the Sage, right? There's wisdom, and there's folly. So the Fool is kind of that thing, we don't know which version of the Fool is coming out. Either way, the Fool is representing something completely new and different, a way for you to really expand your awareness, expand your efforts, expand your Three of Cups, your love energy, your beauty, your creativity. But I think it really depends on how we approach this situation. Now, if we look at all these threes, how are we reacting? Because see, we have this kind of corner here, we have this corner here, and they intersect here with the Three and the Hierophant. So which one of these threes are we using to respond to the inevitable change that's taking place? We have the Devil energy. This is just the momentum of your life, right? It's not something that we can stop. Maybe the Three of Swords is trying to stop this development, this transformation, this change. But it's not stoppable. This is major arcana energy. The water energy here could also be talking about us yielding to it, right? We are adapting to this fundamental change, this life change, this career change, school, whatever this development is, which again, it's a natural process. It's some spiritual momentum that's carrying us through. It's not anything that you're doing. It's kind of a life process, right? It's the inevitable change that takes place in all our lives. It's just time for us to make that shift right now. We could be looking at things a little bit too aggressively, and that's why I think we have a lot of this fire energy. We could be looking to try to control it. Here's the Three of Wands. This is our will and our creativity being law. Meaning that everything is going to have to conform to this belief that we have, this will, this assertiveness. This fire energy is saying that if this isn't quite right, I can change it. And there's a lot of this really strong fire energy here. We don't really have any balance, right? We have active numbers. We have odd numbers, 3, 3, 3, and 5. We have active energies. The only thing that's yielding is the water, but even the water is a 3. It's something that is expressive. It's a function. It's a flow. So I feel the 3 in this case might be a residing belief that things need to conform to my will, to my sense of structure and order, and what I feel is my particular path, right? This is us imposing our will on the universe. But these major arcana cards cannot be convinced, right? It is a very, very strong shift. Major arcana forces, right? So I feel like in the midst of all this fire energy, what we need is a little bit of this water, just to kind of cool things off, just so that we can respond to this and be a little bit more adaptable. My cat's here to confirm that. She walked in just as I was saying that, so I think I'm onto something here. But the 3 is also that expressive number. So this is our love being the law of our being. So we maybe are expecting this situation to be one of kind of one of great pleasure or joy, or we're expecting it to really feel a certain way. Here, we got the cat here for us. It could still be this idea of trying to assert our will on this situation, right? Trying to manipulate it in a way that's going to be better for us. So in a certain way, we're still kind of resisting this change, this transition, this flow of energy, which again, if we're trying to get an idea of what this is, hopefully you already know what's coming. Like I said, it could be a shift in the family dynamic. It could be a shift at work. It could be a transition from one career to another, one field of study to another, going from university into the workforce, maybe going from your career into retirement or something like that. But there is a lot of energy underneath it. There is a real creative push here. So whatever is going on, it's not, so to speak, leaving you high and dry. You know, it's something that is going to allow for more of this creative expression, right? But I think the universe is basically saying that, look, you can't impose your will on this. It's not going to look exactly how you kind of demand that it looks, right? So there's a little bit of resistance here. I think that's why we've got the fire energy, because we feel this change occurring, and we almost feel as if we have to assert more control over it, you know, lest we lose that control. But the devil energy here really is the creative drive that is within you and within this situation. So it is leading to further opportunity. You are kind of climbing further up the mountain, right? It might just not look the way you expected. It might be taking longer, might be happening sooner than you expected, right? And that's part of the Hierophant energy too. It's kind of learning the lesson here, learning that we can't use either fire or water to control the flow of the spiritual energy. That spirit is the one in charge of this process. We can try to be a positive influence, and we can try to adapt ourselves, and perhaps we need to rearrange our cups and our wands a little bit so that we are more in tune with this. Maybe we need to adapt a little bit more to the flow of things around us. So the 3 of Swords here, I think this is the way, this is kind of what we are perceiving. This situation is kind of giving us this viewpoint of this, it's disruptive, right? There seems to be disharmony amidst this change, but see, the universe isn't concerned with that. The universe is flowing in this direction up to the death card here. And again, the death card is really the turning point. It is the ruling energy, so to speak, of this reading right now. This is the final card on the path of the serpent. It represents the ultimate outcome here is one of transformation. And we have these 3s here again, and this is something else, because the 3s to me represent kind of the laws of our being. Like I said, are we being ruled by some sort of conflict or maybe pain, heartbreak, maybe some kind of trauma. I feel like this really is the discord that we're feeling right now as this process is happening. As the universe is kind of curving this way, we feel like we're kind of curving the other way, and it's just kind of, it's rubbing. There's some friction right in the middle, right? And I think that's what we're perceiving. This is at the top of the path of the dove. So maybe our first and our primary impression of this is, basically it sucks. Yeah. The three of swords means a few different things here. I also think that this is a fundamental part of your work, is trying to alleviate and heal from your suffering and the suffering of others. I think that's important to you. And I think that things are shifting now, and maybe we're feeling like we're not going to be able to do this, that somehow the universe is taking us in a different direction. If we look at the flow of the cards again, the way these cards are going, it's as if we're kind of going on this curve, and like I said, and the universe is going on that curve. We're kind of going off in two different directions. It seems like maybe things are disjointed, right? But that, I think, is why we need this water energy. We need this to be a little bit more stable. We need it to be a little bit more kind of yielding and accepting, going with the flow, go with the current rather than trying to swim against it. And of course, the Fool energy, yes, it depends on how we respond to the situation. If the change is happening no matter what, we can either do it the easy way or the hard way, but either way, we're doing it, right? So I think it's up to us if we want to do it more with an accepting, loving, compassionate kind of way, and just going a little bit easier on ourselves and on the environment, the things around us, the circumstances. Or if we want to struggle against it a little bit more, try to bend the river, right? Trying to move the river. Reminds me of the episode of Yellowstone, right? Kevin Costner, or whatever, John Dutton. He just says, well, we're just going to move the river. And he can do that. He has that kind of power. He's the type of person that says, my will is law. So whatever I want, whatever my will is what is going to be done. And yes, we could probably approach it that way, but then I think we're going to be struggling against the forces that are flowing in a different direction, and it's going to be quite a struggle. And it's just really... It really comes down to the method that we're using to embrace this change, right? This feels like the next chapter is taking place, right? The doorway is opening to the next phase of our life. We either enter it gracefully, or we kind of enter it kicking and screaming, right? Well, let's go to the path of the serpent now. We have more fire energy. First thing is the Princess of Wands here, some Earth of Fire energy. It seems like we are struggling with this because we don't know what's happening. This is kind of the kind of natural reaction to it, right? You're being kind of pushed in a direction that you're not sure you're gonna. It's normal, right? Struggle. Protect yourself. You try to fight. Someone grabs you, you kick and scream and bite and do all this kind of stuff. It's the right thing to do, But we also, I think, have to get a handle on that, because this is, it's not the universe is just snatching you, right? This is kind of a natural process that if we really, I think, thought about it, we would see that, yes, this is kind of the natural next phase of things. So we've got this reaction. It's like, a tiger is chasing you. What do you do? I mean, you're going to do whatever you can to get away, to protect yourself. I don't know. I honestly don't know what you're supposed to do if a tiger is coming for you, The timing, though, the next card, this Knight of Wands, this is your relationship with the environment. This is kind of like what it's time for. This is what's needed right now. We need to get control of ourselves because this fire energy is kind of running away with us. This is as if we are reacting to something in a kind of blind rage where we don't know what we just kind of black out, and we're just, it's like if someone tries to take you, you fight, you just kind of black out, and you're kicking and grabbing and biting and doing everything you can. And again, it's a natural reaction. We need to pull that back in this case. This is not something very local in time. Like, this is something that's a big shift for you. Energetically, I feel like we're kind of railing against it. And this is creating, I think, some discord in your life generally, maybe with your work situation, family, friends, just within you. Feeling this kind of discord or disjointedness with the flow of things is also affecting your relationships with other people, your relationships with yourself, your experience of the world. So again, it comes down to our choice of responses. If we have this more yielding, more accepting, this more watery response, I think we'll have an easier time getting through this transition, getting into the next chapter of our life, right? This is the idea when you're opening a brand new book. How do you kind of crack a book open for the first time? You do it gently, and you just kind of allow everything to open up and kind of get used to the idea, or is it just snap, you open the book? Two different methods. Maybe it is more satisfying to struggle against it. But I think right now in your life, the struggling is causing a little bit more discord, a little bit more Three of Swords type of energy than it needs to. Right? And see here, the next card is this Five of Wands. This is the energy that we don't want. It's in the position of what we don't want. We don't want to fight against this. We don't want to be in a fight, right? And to me, this is kind of the card that we need, though, as well, right? But we need this to be balanced. We need to have this kind of equilibrium, right? We need to push just enough. We need to yield just enough. I think it's a good idea to have all of these threes. If all of these threes could just kind of get along and find a common balance, if they could be established maybe in a Three of Pentacles or something, if we had some earth energy to stabilize those threes, then this is kind of the perfect thing, right? We have our creative, spiritual, our will, our vitality, we have our emotions, we have our thinking, right? Thinking, feeling, and then the kind of the higher divine will or creativity. So we just need something to bring these three together to balance these. But let's look at it this way. Maybe the air is what is balancing the fire and the water. Maybe our idea of resisting or yielding is kind of tempered by this understanding. The Three of Swords, maybe this is what it all kind of hinges on, right? This is Saturn in Libra, after all, this card. So maybe this is the energy that really is important for you right now. I don't know if Saturn is transiting Libra right now. I actually think it might be Mars that's transiting Libra right now. That would explain a lot of this fire energy. That would explain a lot of this idea of inevitable change taking place. And it could be very disruptive. It could cause a lot of discord and friction in our lives. If we don't understand the process. So the Three of Swords to me is us restraining our responses. We feel the urge to fight. We feel the urge to just kind of sink into it and just be crushed by it, to go the opposite extreme. But the Three of Swords is providing us the understanding of the purpose of this. It's a higher understanding. We may not like it, but we get it. Yeah. We may not like it, but we get it. And in order for us to minimize the kind of collateral damage, we've got to restrain both the fire and the water. We don't want to be too vigorous with it. We don't want to be melancholy. We don't want to be, either extreme. We need something to balance that out. And I think this is the almost the reluctant acceptance of things. You know, I don't like it, but I get it. So the Saturn energy is kind of restraining our responses. Because right now I think it's important, especially I'll have to look later if Mars is transiting Libra right now. That means that our responses to conflict, to problems, our interpersonal relationships, we need to be careful with those right now because we may have a tendency to go a little bit fire, right? A little bit too hot with those relationships. And then, of course, the Death card at the end here. This is the natural transformation from one phase of our life into the other, right? It's kind of a gradual thing. It could feel very abrupt as the pieces start moving around. They could be kind of a surprise. They could seem like things are happening quickly. But this is something that's been building for a long, long time. So maybe this is like a university thing. We knew it was going to end eventually. Now we have to transition into the workforce or whatever. Or even further on, for transitioning into retirement. Whatever this transition, it doesn't have to be anything that kind of significant. It could be something a lot smaller. Maybe you're just switching departments or something in your at the place that you work or something like that. But it is something that if we can calm our fire and water down and understand it, see it for what it is, I think we'll know that this has been building. It's been a long time coming, I guess, right? Let's look at the mystery card now. Yeah. I'm curious if this is going to be some stabilizing earth energy. Thank you, Alien, for your assistance. I wonder if this is going to be some stabilizing earth energy. Maybe we'll get that 3 of discs to complete this process here. Otherwise, maybe something of the air or swords variety, like a 6 of swords or something that would show we are focused on maintaining balance in our interpersonal relationships. Because I think the biggest problem here is that the fire energy is kind of spilling over into life outside of ourselves, right? Our interactions with other people, our networks and stuff. Network of family, network of friends. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh dear, we've got a tower. This is the inevitability of this change, right? Perfect confirmation. This is happening, and it's up to us how we are going to respond to it. That's it. This encapsulates this really does tie the whole reading together. Change is happening. This is coming down. Things are shifting. How are we going to handle it? With grace, with style, or are we going to just kind of go all fire energy? So this is the big question. It's a question of how do we temper our responses? How do we deal with this in a mature and graceful way, right? We got to do it with a little bit of style, a little bit of class, yeah. Because I feel like this shift is taking place right now. And I think it's going to be a positive thing. Again, we've got the Fool energy. The Fool's kind of saying, look, it's going to be a big opportunity. A lot of doors are going to be open to you. But it's the shifting, it's the moving into that phase. That's the difficult part, right? See, the Fool is kind of what comes next, right? This is tomorrow's energy. All of this other fire energy, even this tower, is behind the Fool. The Fool doesn't even remember any of this. It's going to wake up tomorrow and not remember a thing, right? So I think it's really a question of how we are going to handle this transition and our response to it and how that's affecting our relationships with other people. This, by the way, is the card that rules the planet Mars, or it's ruled by Mars, however you want to look at it. So I'm very curious now if Mars is transiting Libra. I kind of am going to bet that it is with this Tower card. But we are going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, Libra, click on the link in the corner. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings. New readings come out every day at 6 a.m. Chicago time. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next reading. Okay. I want to thank you for being here, and thank you so much for letting me read for you.